Oh, glory, glory, hallelujah. When I lay my burden down, Lord, burden down, Lord. When I lay my burden down, no more sickness, no more sorrow. When I lay my burden down. No idea if that's how that goes or not. Just, I was kind of humming it. And, yeah, you can kind of see like the shark gill marks on my stomach from when I fell on top of my heater. But yeah, I mean, really terrified today. I mean, really got terrified. I don't think it helped that I was like being stubborn about I don't like benzos. I don't like them. I tried like hell to get off them, no matter what anybody believes. Um, so I guess I waited too long or something like that, taking them, and then I had a I got a bunch of like frozen dinners from Meals on Wheels. I mean, like so many that they don't fit in the freezer. I had to fit some in the refrigerator, but I couldn't turn the refrigerator all the way up to its coldest setting because I had milk and coffee creamer in there and stuff. So I called up my brother-in-law and asked him to drop it off at my brother's house because he wolfs them down and he ain't got no money. And, and I gave him some money and I said, man, um, you got three things in this world left in the end, and that's friends, family, and loyalty. That's all they are. So, because I thought he was going to say, like, no, no, and refuse to take the money. But I grabbed his hand like a handshake, and I said, remember that. It's like all you got is family, friends, and loyalty. In the end, these little pieces of paper, they don't mean a whole lot. And I understand that they make life easier. And I think of movies like There Will Be Blood, and before that, which There Will Be Blood, I think owes a lot to Citizen Kane. Though I hated Citizen Kane, There Will Be Blood is a much better movie, but it's about people who become extremely wealthy and isolated, and without any love, empathy, or friends, or anybody they can turn to for their emotional needs. And you know, anyways, I did that. I was gonna like eat. I was like, okay, you're depressed, you're scared, you need to get out of bed, shut the window for one thing, because it's too cold to have the window open. I woke up and I was like hot, like feeling feverish. So I opened up the window and it's like it's too cold. Shut the window, go eat some raisin nut bran, if you can manage it on the one side of your face. And, get some food in you. You're not eating right. And then you're going to walk, and I thought about my brother, and I was like, well, he probably hasn't called about that food yet. And then, it's been sitting in the refrigerator. The refrigerator's on as cold as it can be without freezing my milk. And it's they're in boxes pushed all the way toward the back, and they're stacked up on each other, so they act like ice packs for each other. But they're in boxes, so I don't know how thawed out they got. But I was like, they've been in there since Thursday. It's Sunday. It's like they should go. And I don't know how much preservatives they put into them because they're made to be frozen and then microwaved. So It's like, yeah, I'll do that. And I started moving around doing that, and then I started getting like my heart started beating too fast, and I'm like, okay, something's going on with me. And I took a blood pressure pill and two Valium, and then I started, my brain started working on me, and I started getting scared, and uh, I was like, well, I know somebody that just had some dental surgery that didn't, had a couple teeth pulled. You know, they always say it like it's no big deal. It's like having your fingernails clipped or something like that. It's like, yeah, it's a big deal getting a tooth pulled, man. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Even under the best circumstances, it's a pretty big deal. You know, at least it is for me. I mean, maybe it isn't for other people. I don't know. But this person's pretty tough, like as tough as they come, as far as I can tell. And she was like, yeah, it hurt like a bitch, but she's gonna drop off some pain pills that her good dentist gave her. So, you know, she's like, I only took like three of them because she don't like pills. So, she's gonna drop those off. So, I'll have the codeine and I'll have the it's tramadol. I'll have the tramadol here in case these a-holes at this cut rate dentist are like pat me on the back and say you'll be fine, just take some Tylenol. Which I swear to God I have a memory of somewhere somebody doing that. But it might not have been over a tooth, but it was over something serious. They're like, just take some Tylenol. I'm like, are you serious? Okay, you know. I do remember like getting um a tooth. I do remember getting a tooth pulled at this place, and then giving me Motrin. But they're the big Motrin. They're the 800 milligram Motrin. You just buy Motrin over the counter and take 800 milligrams of it out of the bottle. You know, you need something mind altering. It's gonna like put you to sleep. It's got some kind of narcotic effect. So when they gave me the Motrin, I was still taking Xanax. I was like doubling up on the Xanax, and it messed with my taper. Um, but yeah, I mean the fear is really starting to sink in. This is Sunday. I got Monday, and I got Tuesday. Wednesday is when it's gonna go down. It's when they're gonna other they're gonna take these four teeth out all at once, and you know, I don't know. It just could be like a genetic thing, like not a matter of me not taking care of my teeth or whatever. I don't know. You know, my teeth are all like ridged and cracked for no real reason because, like I said, I stopped fighting after I had a spinal tumor. So I don't know. I know I'm gonna. I don't. I'm not ready for this. I'm just. I don't feel ready. You know. There's. I just went through that. I just got released from the hospital last month on the 16th with arrhythmia. I just stopped taking blood thinners like the 2nd or 3rd of October. I just don't feel ready for this. I've only had, besides having my wisdom teeth pulled when I was very young and very strong, and they're not together, they were separate. Um, I had all four of them pulled on the same day, and they gave me some Percocet, and I had like this. How long ago this was? I had a stack of VHS movies. Just got high on Percocet and watched those movies. But this is four teeth in a row, and my CRPS has advanced quite a bit because I was definitely in the 20s, 20 years of age, in those 20s when I had the wisdom teeth pulled. So I don't know what kind of pain I'm going to be dealing with this. You know, I don't know. And I'm terrified. I mean, my option is to stay bombed and keep the anxiety. But it's more than anxiety, man. It's like fight or flight. Like run, run, don't walk. Like like the reaction I would have if a wolf was coming after me. Um, so it's just not anxiety because I know this is gonna happen, and I know that's the thing is like the unknown is the most fearful thing. So I don't know what that's gonna be like having like my jawline is exposed right here, and it's gonna be exposed all the way to the front. I called my cousin in Florida to talk to him about it because he neglected his teeth by not going to the dentist for like 30 years or so. So they had to pull a bunch of his teeth, you know. And I don't know if that would help, if he could help uh, calm me down or, you know. I mean, it's going to be bad. And I'm not getting proper nutrition right now because my appetite. I mean, when I get emotionally upset, it has to do with the CRPS, perhaps. But when I get emotionally upset, I don't eat. I think I've expressed that a few times on here, where people have upset me and I haven't been able to eat for like all day. Well, now I'm like upset continually since last Wednesday. And I'm not moving around enough, and I'm not eating, and I gotta force myself to eat. I got some vitamins in the house. Maybe I'll take some vitamins. I mean, it's. I know I've been through worse. It's just that feeling of being unprepared and then having it like jump up on you fast. There's not enough time for me to wrap my head around it. It's gonna help a lot having the bottle of tramadol, because I don't have to worry about those people just giving me nothing and just saying, here you go. And uh, there's just no time to talk to them about like I don't even know if they'd be truthful about it, but like is it really worth getting this, paying $1,000 to get this oh capped or whatever? It's close to the root. It's partially beneath the gum line and everything. And she's like, oh, these two need capped or crowned. I forget which word she used. Probably crowned, you know. That, I don't know. She said she could do it for the upper teeth because they weren't close to the root. The fraction, the broken pieces weren't close to the root, so they can put in for those. But the thing that is troubling for me is like I I got like one chewing surface now. It's like how the fuck am I gonna eat? I got one chewing surface, and this tooth has been giving me. Actually, both of them been saying unpleasant things to me. So you know, it, yeah, mm, expressing that, expressing those kind of things sometimes helps. Um, I didn't mean to do the legwork for my brother, but uh, you know, he should have been the one making the call and arranging to get that food delivered and all that. But I was like, I I wanted to get those out of my house before they. I don't know how many preservatives. Like I said, I just wanted to get food out of the house. I'm not going to be able to eat it. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be able to eat after they pull 4 teeth in a row up here. I don't know if I should be investing in nutrition shakes or something like that. I don't know. I know it. I know from getting teeth pulled before, man. I only got one tooth pulled at a time before, like I said, except for those wisdom teeth, which was kind of like one tooth pulled at a time because they weren't next to each other. And they weren't essential at that time for eating. So, yeah, I did put that video up. I put it up a couple of times and I re-edited it. I had a couple of views on it, but I re-edited it. But I couldn't find the book. I was just going to read the passage out of the book that talked about in the one video where it's like mild mood improvement. I think I spelled improvement wrong. It was mild mood improvement. I was talking about that one book that I did where the guy was like, he just kind of accepts. He doesn't get angry. He's not like, why God, why God? He just accepts. And his job is to survive and to continue living and to accept the things that happen to him. But I couldn't find that book anywhere. My computer keeps telling me to free up storage space. That's what that was about. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd check in fairly briefly for me. And it's starting to hurt now. It's really, the pain's really getting distracting now. And I got the codeine there. I'm going to get a bottle of Tramadol tomorrow, but I don't know what Tramadol does. The person that's going to give it to me says it just makes you sleep. And then you wake up in 3 hours and you're like, and you take more of it and you go to sleep. So it may not even be that effective for me. I don't know. But I have like buku of benzos in the house, including Xanax. But yeah, man, I am scared, and I'm man enough to admit it. I'm beyond scared. I'm terrified of the short-term and the long-term consequences of this. And I have an issue on this tooth right here that's beneath the gum line, and it's like man, you gotta take care of your teeth. I guess you gotta stay on top of them things and go to some place if you can afford it that has like regular dental checkups, regular dental cleanings, and all that. But that's all hindsight, being 2020. And there's no young people probably going to be watching this, but young people don't listen anyway, so they're going to do what they're going to do. Even old people, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but young people are just like, whenever they hear an old person saying, you better do this or do that or whatever, they're like, in one ear and one out the other. But like even with old people, it's like I was talking about the attitudes of certain people I know, where they think they're like, well, when it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. They think they're gonna just and wake out of existence and just Like, you need to go to a hospital and go to a cardiac ward or see some stroke victims. You know, I'm talking about people with smoking too much or drinking too much, and what that eventually does to you. I'm being distracted right now by the lady outside. She's got the Shar-Pei Pitbull mix. I hadn't seen the dog for so long because I've just been avoiding her. She's the lady that borrowed $13 off of me and then on payday paid me $11 and said she'd get the two back to me later. You know, that's the people upstairs above me that smoke crack. I don't know if she smokes crack or not. The war vet claims that she does. Said something about like he could see the black around her lips and teeth and stuff. You know, when he was talking to her one day. I mean, I never smoked crack before, so I don't know. I've been around it, but I don't know. Like, I never was that close to anybody's mouth that was doing that stuff. But she's out there yelling at her dog. Her dog used to love me, but I ran into her, and it's like twice as big as the last time I seen it, and it forgot who I was. And it came up and, like I put my hand down, it came up and smelled my hand, and that's about it. I could tell it wanted no other interaction with me. When before I could pet it anywhere. But it's at least twice as big as it was. And it barks, but not a lot. But she's also the lady that said that her tub is sinking through the floor. That the other guy in the building warned me about. So I guess get the 4 teeth pulled, save the $2,000. Maybe start. I just don't have any ambition, Maybe start thinking about selling some shit. I got some sellable guitars. I got some sellable football cards. Even though the Browns are terrible, the Nick Chubb cards are still worth some money that I got because they're all autographed. Almost all of them are autographed rookie cards of Nick Chubb, and guys like he was second in the league in rushing, but they had the bye week, so he's going up against the Patriots, so who knows? They're number one in defense across the board. But like I'm saying, I got sellable stuff, and just start working on moving out of here toothlessly. And yeah, I think I was talking a lot about the Christian ethic, and like this might be interesting to some people, but my best friend, who's a strict Christian, fundamentalist type of dude, invites this guy to go fishing with my brother, and he has horrible etiquette as far as fishing. He's like crowding my brother. He actually stepped over top of my brother, and I said, he stepped over top of that fishing rod I bought you. That's like $100 fishing rod. And he said, yeah, he did that once. And I said, that wouldn't have flew with me. And he was like, yeah, last time though, when I said something to him, my Christian friend was like, nah, that's bad, or whatever. And I guess this guy was like crowding him and bothering him all day, and then like lied and said because he didn't like the place they were fishing at, he wanted to fish at this other place that had no fish. Because there's like the Niagara fishing platform pier where there was no fish, where that guy likes to fish. And then there's this other place, they call it 8 Mile Creek, in front of Burt Dam, that had a bunch of fish in it and had a bunch of fish being caught, but he hates fishing there. So you know, he lied to my brother about the guy who's the driver, my best friend, being ready to go, you know, and because he figured like, well, I can get him to pack up and carry his stuff back there, and then we can get out of here quicker or whatever. But the thing that I brought that up over was he kept like crossing his line and not letting him get a decent drift downstream because it's a like 8 Mile Creek. It's a stream that leads into Burt Dam and or comes from Burt Dam. I don't know which, but the guy just did it like 30 times and stepping over his fishing rod and stepping over him and crowding him. And he said he went away from him, and then the guy like followed him and started bothering him. And I'm like, man, that wouldn't have flew with me. I would have deliberately tangled our lines together a couple of times and said, made us both cut off and retie, and said, well, that's just going to keep happening if you keep crossing me and crowding me. At the very least, I said, then the driver couldn't have said anything about that. He couldn't have scolded you for that, for bad behavior. He said he just got too angry. He said he couldn't express his anger. He said he knew it was going to come out bad. Whatever he said, it was going to come out bad and, nasty if he said anything to the guy. And so, like, anyways, the point of that is like that Christian ethic. A lot of times, like, if you just let a guy be a dick because it's the Christian thing to do or whatever, he's not going to learn anything. He's just going to keep being a dick, But he's not going to learn any manners. He's not going to learn how to behave himself. But if you, like, I don't think that's what Christianity is really about. It's like letting people walk on you and wipe their feet on you like a rug. I ran out of disk space and it stopped me. But my last sentence was, I don't think that's what Christianity is about. I don't think it's about letting people walk all over you and wipe their feet on you like you're a rug. I don't think that's what that's about, because that's not teaching anybody anything. And I don't understand my friend's attitude, since he was one of the more hard-ass cops on the Canton police force, and his other officers used to make fun of him because he said, you never let anybody go. And he's like, why? Why would I let him go? I'm just going to have to catch him again. So his attitude toward that was kind of funny. I guess it's because the guy in question, whose name is, we'll call him Ken, the Ken guy isn't engaging in criminal behavior. He's just being a rude dick, and a liar. So, I guess none of that's illegal. But anyways, during my intermission, while I was freeing up space on this computer, I ate something. I don't know if that's gonna make me feel better. I had a fight with my cat, which he is the ultimate litter box ruiner. I forgot like how terrible he is to live with, especially in this apartment, which is just like a hallway. And like I said, I turned him into an indoor cat, thinking that I would be moving out of here because Coleman gave me the impression that they would give me help getting me out of here, because this is an unsafe environment full of bed bugs, roaches, hornets, crack, drug dealing, because I had like been cardioverted 5 times, just got cardioverted in September. So I was like, yeah, I'll get this cat in here and we'll be buddy buddy, and He's reminded me of all the reasons why I made him an outside cat in the first place. He's always underfoot. He never shuts up. And he's the litter box destroyer. It's like, how can one cat, you know, you shouldn't have to change the litter box every freaking day over one cat, you know? So he's going outdoors tonight. I left him inside last night because it rained, but he's going outdoors tonight. But yeah, the door, like, I opened the window and it cracked the door open, and the stench, just came rolling in here to remind me of that. I gotta, like, you know, mess with that litter box because of him. And then, like, he jumped in the bedroom, and I didn't want him in the bedroom because I want to shut the door and shut his stink out, and he wouldn't get off the bed, and he starts hissing at me and shit. I'm surprised he didn't claw me. But I was like, I hissed back at him, and he was like, "What?" And then, I was like, "Man, get out of here." And I went to grab him, and he hissed at me again, and then I head-butted him, and he hissed at me again. I'm lucky I don't have a clawed-up face or something, because he's been an outdoor cat for, I don't know, 2 years. And to the point where, like I said, he wouldn't come nowhere near me outside. So, but he's like, "Oh, this house living's pretty sweet. I kind of like it. I kind of remember what this was like." But see, he used to be easy to live with, but I had this other cat with horrible manners that I called OCD, or the white cat, who I haven't seen for a long time now. And he used to do the same. He used to get in my way when I was walking, the white cat, and he didn't meow, but he would do all the things that were annoying. And this once I booted him out and left this cat in, then this cat picked up the slack and started behaving and picked up all the bad habits, lowest common denominator, off of the cat, off of OCD. So I was like, after he dropped a couple deuces on my bed, which was one of the reasons why the white cat got kicked out, it's like, yeah, you gotta go. I'm gonna make you an outside cat because got enough trouble walking without you trying to trip me, walking in front of me and running in front of me and doing a swoop and squat driving type of thing. And yeah, and I forgot about what a litter box destroyer he was, and how he just makes this whole place reek. Um, but yeah, the the 2 volume and the blood pressure pill had time to kick in, and I'm still terrified though of getting 4 teeth all in a row pulled out by a shitty dentist. Maybe the oral surgeon isn't shitty. I don't know. Maybe I should be optimistic, but the way things go for me, it's like, optimism. Yeah. I think I said in the video, it's like, why do I keep being optimistic about everything? It's like, why do I expect things to work out? Like, I think I said that about that phone. It's like, oh, I can get a free phone. It's like, yeah, and it kept making me pay for unlimited minutes. And I'm like, what would lead me to be an optimistic person at this point? What kind of sense does that make? I mean, I have hornets pouring in through my ceiling. I mean, who who has that? You know, with my track record, it doesn't make any sense. So, um, but yeah, I'll be terrified. I mean, I don't know how doped up I'll be, but I'm just going there doped up because I'm gonna be terrified, and I don't know, if I can get my bowels to do anything. I mean, I cannot not go to the bathroom for a Wednesday to a Wednesday. It just doesn't make any sense. Uh, but anyways, yeah, I gotta I gotta continue to fight, because there might be something past this, and like I told my brother-in-law, it's like there's three things. In the end, there's only three things. There's friends, family, and loyalty. That's all you got. And I thought that up, just because I thought he'd say no, no, no over the money that I was going to give him. Gave him like $24. Just looked like a lot of money because it was in ones and fives. And I held his hand and, set it in his eyes. In the end, that's all you got. And yeah, I mean, those dead presidents, those green faces on those dollar bills, they're very useful. And but they can't buy you real friends. They can't buy you people like him, where you can call him up and be like, I got some food here that I want to make sure I get to my brother. He's like, I'll be there in a little while. They won't buy you that because I already know that from my foster brother. And once them green faces stop going in that direction, I haven't heard from any of them. And part of that might be like they might just be afraid of me as far as me being angry or whatever. But who knows? If that's how much they care about you, is like they're afraid to make a phone call. What am I going to do to them on a phone call? What can I can't choke them through the phone. I mean, I don't get a phone call. I don't get nothing. I don't hear nothing. I don't get text messages. I don't get nothing. Since so that's the point that I was making to my brother-in-law. It's like, he's loyal and a friend, and that's what you got. In the end, that's all that that's all that matters. Is it sure is nice to have that money to make life easier, though. I know that much. Like, then I could just say, blow that $2,000. Just get these two teeth pulled, and then if these two teeth needed pulled later, they can get pulled later. I can waste that money. I can waste that money. I should have that money anyway. I needed something to look forward to, and there was all that Browns hype, so I bought a bunch of football cards, invested in the Browns season, which I was already supposed to be selling at this point. It's like before the season started, I could have sold, like, I think I said this before, but I bought a lot of, one of the first purchases I made last December is I bought a lot of cards that had 13 Baker Mayfield rookies in it, including 2 jerseys, and it had 13 or 15 Nick Chubb rookies in it, including 2 jerseys. And not a jersey card, but just one of those cards out of there. I could have sold it before the season started and made $30 off of it. And, just off of like the Baker Mayfield cards, I could have made a profit, and then everything else would have been profit that was in that lot of cards. But the Browns allowed the student to pick the teacher. They promoted a guy who was a running backs coach at the beginning of the year, and then they fired their offensive coordinator, and he had 8 games as an offensive coordinator, and now he's their head coach, and he doesn't have a damn clue. And their offensive coordinator is some guy from the 49ers named Monken, and nobody takes that route to get to be a head coach. It takes a long time. Like Bill Belichick, He had 2 Super Bowl rings before he ever got a head coaching job because he was a defensive coordinator for the Giants during the Lawrence Taylor days. So he was a defensive coordinator. At least one ring he got as a defensive coordinator because 1990, I don't remember when he took the Browns head coaching job, but he got a ring for the Giants definitely in '86 as a defensive coordinator. And, he was a defensive coordinator for them for years. I mean, this guy was an offensive coordinator for 8 games, and they just promoted him to a head coach, and he don't have a damn clue, you know. Um, did not see that coming. Uh, I bought cards even afterwards because I was kind of already in too deep. I was like, I bought cards afterwards and hope for the best, but um, I didn't think he could be this. I didn't think he could screw that up. It's like you watch the games and you're like, okay, you're leading 20-6. Why are you changing your offensive game plan? Now, well, I think in the Seahawks game, it's like, what are you doing? You know, and yeah. So I should actually have that money already to waste on those 2 teeth that are going to get pulled. It would give me peace of mind, because I'd just be getting 2 pulled just 2 pulled at a time, and keep those 2 front teeth. But now all 4 of them are going to go. And I'm not going into debt over it. It's a bad investment, but it would be money well spent if I had the money to spend. So I'm not denigrating the value of those dead men and their green faces on those pieces of paper. When I say that, I'm just saying that friends and family and people who are loyal to you are a lot more valuable than those pieces of paper. Um, you know, Having somebody you can call and they'll be like, yeah, I'll drop off the rest of my tramadol tomorrow after work, and knowing that they'll do it. Um, in the meantime, I don't know how I'm going to cope with my anxiety and my terror. And it's funny, it may seem funny to you that somebody that's had spinal reconstruction and screw put in their head and like ribs cut out and all the physical trauma that I've been through, but that's your face, man. My face is one of the few good things that I got left. I mean, kind of good, I think. It's kind of a good face. Um, and I don't know what that's gonna be like, or if what that's gonna do to me having that all missing there. I don't know what my bite's gonna be like, or what it's gonna feel like. There's a lot of unknown there. I don't know how I'm gonna eat, or if I'm gonna be stuck eating soup. I definitely gave my brother all the chicken patty meals because those are kind of tough. I saved a few of those meals and I tried to make them the more edible ones or the softer ones. Um, Anyways, this is long enough. Um, Hopefully, it was kind of interesting. I mean, um, the idea of like um, the whole Christian thing, I find that interesting that, that the fundamentalist Christian guy expects uh, my brother to just let this guy just act like a complete asshole and not call him on it. It's like, how are you doing that guy any favors? How is that a Christian act? Like, maybe you're doing that. Maybe that's a Christian act to say do it in a straightforward way and say, look, man, this isn't proper fishing etiquette, man. I'm a nice guy, but somebody else, they might not be so nice to you if you do stuff like this. But my brother's got an anger problem like me, or actually probably worse than me. as far as losing his temper. And he said he was too mad. By the time the guy kept doing this stuff, he was too mad to do anything but yell at him. I don't think he would have laid hands on him. I just think he would have yelled at him. But hopefully that wasn't too boring, and I'll piece it together. And I guess I gotta clear up space on my computer too, since these files, my video files are extremely long, like gigabyte long. So I don't, I realize I make long videos, but good Lord. I mean, I don't really need that HQ. My face isn't that good that I need HQ. Anyways, yeah, I'll probably just be on here every day, venting a little bit, trying to hold it together. And then you probably won't see me for a while after. I might check in briefly to tell you how it went. Very briefly. After they yanked the teeth out, my face is swollen up and whatnot. But in the meantime, I can blow off some steam this way. So, as always, thank you for listening. And I hope it wasn't too boring. And probably talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.